Andrew Neil, sometimes media executive, chairman of The Spectator, who I know you've met, said the idea that these two vital vehicles of mainstream centre-right thought should be owned by Arab money and controlled out of New York by a left-wing Democrat beggars belief. He says the idea is absurd.
Yeah, well, this may come as a shock, but Andrew Neil is quite the hypocrite on this. And let me tell you a story about why that's the case. Because let's be very clear here, and I have not talked about this publicly before. The reality is that Andrew Neil was interested in working with us until we didn't have any interest in having him work with us. I proposed to him after we met that he be the chair of an editorial trust board for The Spectator. He said that was too small for him because he already essentially had that role. But he did say to me that he'd be interested in being the chair of a combined editorial trust board for the Telegraph and the Spectator, and suggested that in that role, he could also act as a shadow editor of the Telegraph because he felt the newspaper needed one. He also wanted to know how much such a role would pay. We said no thanks. And ever since that day, he's been one of our most vocal critics. And I think that says all you need to know about Andrew Neil. And since I am sure that he's going to deny this and pretend that didn't happen and make all kinds of threats, let me be very clear about something. He did not make that request just of me. I am not the only one that he had that conversation with. And I can also tell you that when I spoke to folks at both the Telegraph and the Spectator about his potential involvement, they were all quite pleased to learn that he would not be around. So now you know the full story. And so please, give me a break with the hypocrisy.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.